Let me ask you an honest question. Why pay money to watch HBO's Game of Thrones when you can watch all 94 episodes of War of the Three Kingdoms for free entirely on YouTube? Why watch a show where all of the intelligent characters are killed off because the writers don't know how to write them anymore without George, when you can instead watch a show where intelligent characters can insult people to death?
我保你不失封侯之位。
我原以为汉朝元老必有高论，没想到足下红唇白齿，却说出如此不堪入耳之话。我有一言，三军静听。你，王朗，世受大汉国恩，举孝廉入仕，要是还有半点良心，就该匡君辅国，除贼兴汉。而你，却贪图官位，助贼篡逆。你本该潜身缩手，苟图衣食，躲于暗角阴沟行鼠窃产鱼之事，岂敢在队伍面前妄称天数？好手匹夫，苍然老贼！你有何颜面对大汉24先帝呀？老贼速退，杀你，无我刀。
喂，把王子都给我抢回来！回兵！王大人，王大人，王大人，王大人。
Game of Thrones was a show that initially struggled with its budgetary constraints. War of the Three Kingdoms, on the other hand, was a show funded by the CCP, in which they struggled to keep their horses from dying or going insane. Game of Thrones gradually became a brainlet show where distance, supplies, politics, and strategy became less and less important, while War of the Three Kingdoms uses all of those things to create dramatic tension. I could go on, but you get the idea. What you might not understand is what the hell War of the Three Kingdoms actually is. Is it a fantasy show? No, it takes place during the Three Kingdoms period of 200 AD China, and there's no supernatural elements except halfway through the show, where this wizard here casts a magic spell to change the weather. So is it a historical drama? Well, I'm pretty sure battles in 200 AD China didn't look like this. It is actually a romanticized version of historical events, in which strategists aren't just good, they're unfathomable geniuses whose intellect nobody can hope to grasp. A warrior isn't just good, he's a Dynasty Warriors character capable of felling 5 men with every swing of his blade. A woman isn't just pretty, she's a beauty whose seductions can turn emperors and warriors against each other. Everything here is larger than life. But you might be thinking, I don't really know anything about Chinese history anyway, so I won't understand. Oh, don't worry. First, the show doesn't expect you to know. Secondly, I can quickly give you the backstory of this era of Chinese history right now. Alright, so check it. There was this pretty cool dynasty around the time Jesus died for our sins called the Han Dynasty. The Han court is pondering how to deal with all the people close to the emperor trying to manipulate him for their own ends, and they come up with a flawless plan to prevent this. The only people close to the emperor would be women, aka empress dowagers, and eunuchs. Women nurture him when he's young, or satisfy his carnal desires when he's older, and eunuchs because, since they have no legacy, they are incapable of ambition. And so began a long scheme of war between women and dickless men, to gain control of the emperor, of course. Sometimes the empress dowagers would gain control by murdering the emperor if he was being swayed too much by the eunuchs. Sometimes the eunuchs would gain control by murdering the emperor if he was being controlled by the dowagers. Many, many emperors were murdered in the crib, until the eunuchs reigned supreme. Then a general who is generally depicted as being fat, named Dong Zhou, got sick of the country being ruled by dickless men, and led a successful rebellion, only to become an even worse tyrant than the eunuchs. And that's how we end up here. So you might be thinking, but why should I watch this? If It's a Great Political Drama isn't enough for you, then maybe still watch it just for this guy. Oh, Cao Cao. This lovable bumblefuck trolled the shit out of China while roaming around with his homies, writing poetry and cuckolding his enemies. If I could be like any man, I'd want to be like Cao Cao. Another reason you might want to watch this show is to enjoy the canonical, 100% legitimate true sequel to War of the Three Kingdoms called Ya Boy Kong Ming, an anime about the most famous strategist of the Three Kingdoms period. I shouldn't need to sell you on this show. The footage really speaks for itself. Anyway, the show does have some flaws. First of all, with a smooth 94 episodes spanning 60 years of generational conflict, this show's pacing is all over the place. Sometimes we spend 3 whole episodes watching a chick trying to seduce 2 generals, while at other times an entire faction is wiped off the face of the earth off-screen in a single scene transition. Another issue is that the cast is absolutely huge, and while only maybe 30 or so of those characters actually matter, it's initially impossible to tell which ones matter and which ones don't. Plus, to a Western ear, their names all sound the same. I hope you can remember the difference between Liu Bei, Liao Biao, and Lu Bu. In fact, there are technically 7 characters in this story whose name begins with Liu specifically. Anyway, that's all I had to say about this show. Bye bye now.